celebrating another country here in the United States. Now, if the United States was to go over to any of these other countries, it probably wouldn't go well for you. I'm just saying, because there are some people that do try to celebrate America and other places. It doesn't go well for them. They shut that down because that's their country. How dare you celebrate another country here in our country? But we don't do that here. We just allow it. Now, I think it's one thing if you're actually celebrating a culture. Let's just see. And I'll bring this for example. So I know annually they have Chinese New Year, right? And some people participate, some people don't, but it's Chinese New Year. And so they will, and maybe predominantly Asian communities, they will celebrate Chinese New Year. Well, specifically to Chinese, right? So Japanese people might not be celebrating it, just saying, but they celebrate that. But that's an event. And what they do culturally, because that is a part of their culture, they share it with the United States to be like, hey, this is something that we actually do in China, right? And they're not doing it to take over the United States, to make the United States more Chinese. They're just saying, hey, this is a little bit of something that we do here in our country. It has nothing to do with religion. Everybody gets to participate because it's just celebrating New Year. That's not what this is. And that's where I need people to start to see the difference. Because this situation here, especially with Islam, is that a lot of these people, they attach their nationality, right, and their ethnic identity to Islam. Because in a lot of these countries, they live under a theocracy. So their government is run under Islam, period. And this is something that people rightfully should be concerned about, in my opinion. Okay, the other topic is the Supreme Court clears to end TPS for 350,000 Haitians and 6,000 Syrians. And then there are flash floods that killed 4 in Kentucky, and there was a state of emergency declared. So let's definitely keep individuals in Kentucky in our prayers. And I also wanted to bring up a meme, I guess somebody posted. Let me bring it up in my bookmarks. And I thought this one was interesting. So Socialism 101, straight from the instructor himself. Take from the producers, right? Give to the takers, blame capitalism, promise the moon, and deliver nothing, right? And the students in dunce caps begging for free stuff while asking, what is work? So here's the meme right here. Equality, dependence, obedience, right? So we don't need to necessarily watch it. But, it says free stuff, please. I love government. Capitalism is evil. Socialism is love. Free college. What is work? On the books. More takes good. This is take from those who work. Give to those who don't. Blame capitalism. Promise everything. Deliver nothing. Now, a lot of times we need to remember, yes, we are in a constitutional republic, but we also have quasi-socialism with democratic tendencies, because our elected leaders, it is democratic, right? Majority wins. Even though we have the electoral college at the federal level for the office of the presidency, all of the other elections are majority. That's democratic, okay? Socialism comes in because, yes, our taxes are spread out to take care of those who may need it, right? We have public schools. Yes, they are paid for with taxes, but parents don't pay for the school directly. In other countries, they pay taxes and they still have to pay for their children's education. Education is not free. They do not have public schooling. So some children that can't afford it don't get educated, period. And their parents are responsible for educating them. So yeah, there's socialism for you. We have it here. The problem is now, I think the people that realize it's like, oh, we have socialism, we just need to continue to push it. Maybe not go so well for you. But I wanted to bring up a video that I came across with Benny Johnson, and he was talking to a current sitting member of the House of Representatives, and they get into an interesting conversation about the individuals that were just that won their primaries in New York City.
Good morning, and it looks like you're going to have a couple more Marxists to contend with. In fact, the Democratic Socialists of America just doubled their number in Congress. That's exciting for you.
It's pretty fascinating that this is the direction that New York is heading. Thankfully, it's not the direction our country is heading. But yeah, it's so a quick fun story. So I try to work out every morning in the members gym. Well, it's Republican and Democrat, and there was a Democrat in there. It was just me and him, and we were talking about the congressional baseball game. And then he made some comment about socialists taking over his party, and so even rank and file Democrats that are elected members of Congress see how bad this is for them and for the country. That in their party, socialists, and he said it, not me, a Democrat, I won't name who it was, but a Democrat said that socialists are taking over their party. So it's great for us in general elections in districts that we can win. If they're nominating these crazy left, progressive, Marxist, socialist, communists, we're going to win the general elections. But in district like this in New York, that's a D district. These people are going to be in Washington espousing Marxism and socialism and communism right here in Washington, D.C. So it's very scary that we're at this point in America where you have people saying things like, this is Brad Linder, who just, when I first called for abolishing ICE in 2018, forgive all student loans, huge tax hikes on the wealthy. 𝗘𝗫𝗣𝗢𝗍 said, fight to abolish ICE. These people are all anti-law enforcement. They want to defund the police. They want to defund ICE. They want complete government takeover on housing and everything else. And this is the kind of stuff you saw in the old Venezuela, stuff that's been going on in Cuba for decades. This doesn't happen in America, but it's happening in places like New York City because Democrats are electing these people.
So I have a pressing question about the oath of office. And it's an oath of office that you've taken now multiple times, and you promised to protect America. And one of the Democrats that won last night, 𝗬𝗏𝗂 is her last name. I don't know exactly how to say it, but she's going to represent New York's 13th congressional district. And she posted from the group that she started, Death to America. The group that she started, which is the Columbia University Apartheid organization called the CUAD, says that her goal is to fight for the total eradication of Western civilization and to use militant forces to do it. How can this person be sworn into Congress?
Well, if they refuse to swear an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, which we are required to do as members of Congress, they should not be seated in the 119th Congress, the next Congress when we swear in. So when we have the elections in November, we don't swear in until January. Every member of Congress has to swear an oath to protect and uphold the Constitution of the United States. If she is refusing to do that, then she should not be seated. And if we have to pass rules, I think we should pass a rule. This program has given me the idea to file an amendment to the rules that if you refuse to swear an oath to the Constitution of the United States, you shall not be seated as a member of that Congress. So if you can't do that, you shouldn't be seated as a member of Congress, and we should change the rules of the House to reflect that. And every year, every Congress, every 2 years, we sign a new rules package. It has to be voted by the membership. It's obviously usually partisan, so whoever has the majority files a partisan package. We should change the rules to explicitly state that if you cannot swear an oath to the Constitution that's required by law, that you will uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, which is a requirement of a member of Congress, you shall not be seated as a member of that Congress. So we need to.
Yeah. So that he's floating that. He's floating that. And that could very well happen. And so people need to be aware of that. I wanted to send out some good mornings. Good morning, Mardad. I'm sorry if I mispronounced it. And Spud McKenzie, thank you so much for joining us. And Stretch Night, Annie, thank you for joining us this morning. But I just wanted to kind of wrap that up with a bow. Like socialism is definitely making a move here in the United States. So I wanted to go over some quick headlines with all sides. So Iran and U.S. exchange strikes after drone strike on oil tanker in Hormuz. Are we ever going to get this done? I mean, it's just nonsense over there right now. U.S., Israel, and Lebanon reach framework amid this disarming framework amid at disarming.